Well, good morning again, guys. Well, I got to do something with the hair. I literally rolled out of bed this morning, and it's 6:30 this morning. Um, the Wi-Fi doesn't work great in my room. I've done my morning video, and it's basically like 2 hours to upload. But for some reason, this spot right here, things upload a lot quicker. So it's about 10 minutes to upload my 20-minute morning video. So got me a cup of coffee before I wake up the missus and we go get breakfast and stuff to really get the day going. And while I'm sitting out here, of course, sun's not up yet. It's kind of cloudy, and it seems like it's always kind of cloudy early in the morning, but then it burns off. And actually, it's kind of chilly out here. But I'm sitting here thinking, all right, so Anthony Barr is the third free agent that we've signed. We've lost James Washington for 6 to 10 weeks, and the Cowboys say 6 to 10 weeks. I'd be looking more at the 10 weeks than the 6 because they always give you the best case scenario. And or maybe it's the fans. Maybe we do it. Maybe we look at it and say, "Oh, he's going to be back in 6 weeks." But the reality is, if you've ever had an injury and stuff, and you think about the timelines that we get from professional athletes, and I know they get better care than what we do, and are world class athletes, and so they will recover faster. It takes time to recover from stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had a cleanup surgery on my knee last summer about this time, and it felt pretty good after a few weeks, but it took a good 2 months before it really felt good, and that was me, going to therapy a couple, 3 times a week or so, and it's really now a year later before it really feels like better than it's done in years, and that's just a cleanup surgery. So when you start thinking about ACLs and other injuries and things, they really and truly do impact, and that's why I'm really high on Dak Prescott, because he was back last year, and he wasn't really 100% ready to go. It takes time to really get over a catastrophic injury like he had, but that's not what this is about this morning. Um, a lot of people will look and say, "Oh, Anthony Barr, he's a scrub and everything else," because I've had plenty of Minnesota Viking fans that are saying, you don't want him, he's bad. Okay, all right, fine. But you know what? People said that about J-Ron Curse, because they said, J-Ron Curse, man, he's a scrub, he's a bum, you don't want him. Cowboys, they're not going out for real talent, they don't want to win. But, gotta say, we actually found some pretty good free agents in I'm sorry, Malik Hooker, J-Ron Curse, and Carlos Watkins. Three guys that are starters that were cheap guys. Now, it could be that Anthony Barr becomes one of those guys. Now, here's the question now. We've got the money man, Cat Boy, and I'm honestly surprised, knowing how much Stephen Jones loves money, why he hasn't actually gotten a sponsorship, or we haven't started seeing like shirts that say Cat Boy on them. I mean, seriously, he could be with one of the cat making companies and stuff, the special Cat Boy hat. I could see a caricature of him. Anyway, Stephen Jones probably watching this video like, yeah. I mean, seriously, the best thing that you can do is when people try and make fun of you is run with it. Seriously. Be self-deprecating and stuff. Yeah, I'm Catboy. Hey, but Catboy. Hey, but I may be Catboy, but look, I got J-Ron Curse for your ass. I got Carlos Watkins. I got Malik Hooker. So yeah, Catboy. Okay. And if he ends up doing things, we could have revisionist history, much like Philly 500 has, about Howie Vision, about Howie, I love Howie. And it wasn't long ago he was saying I'd fire his ass. So you know how that goes. It's a love-hate relationship. The question now is, now that the doors are open, now that there are players out there that are in the price range that Stephen Jones likes to spend, now that there are going to be guys that teams look at and say, this guy is expendable because the rookie or this other guy we brought in is cheaper and we're not going to need him, that the writing's on the wall, especially at wide receiver, at offensive line and things. Will the Cowboys actually make some moves? If you're looking at saying 1 year deals for $3 million, then technically, we could bring in 10 guys and be okay. Not saying that there's necessarily 10 guys that are going to make an impact, but the biggest thing I worry about with this team The biggest thing is, and it's been the same thing year after year after year. The problem for the Cowboys hasn't been the starters, hasn't been the frontline guys. You look at how many Pro Bowl players we've had over the years. We've been killing it. You look at our draft picks and things, and some of these teams that have great coaches and stuff would love to have the draft picks that we've had to find a Diggs, a CeeDee Lamb, a Micah Parsons. To get a Sam Williams, we'll see how he plays and stuff. To find players like this consistently, that doesn't happen on other teams. I mean, look at the Eagles. We get CeeDee Lamb, they get Rhaegar. They're like trying to get rid of him. I mean, trying to if they can get a ham sandwich, they'll take it for Rhaegar. The year before, they end up getting Whiteside. Whiteside was drafted before DK Metcalf, and oh, by the way, Rhaegar was drafted just before Justin Jefferson. And Philly 500 said, "I don't want Justin Jefferson. He's ass. He's that guy." But now we've already heard the team is looking for a wide receiver, and more than likely they may have to do a trade to help get a guy, to get somebody who's probably not on the injury front. There are some guys that are out there. We know Cole Beasley is. We know T.Y. Hilton. We know Will Fuller is. I don't know if they'll kick the cans on any of those guys, or if they'll look at somebody's roster, somebody that's got a lot of receivers, and say, hey, we're going to try and make a little trade, trade a 6th or 7th round pick or something. Or, I guess if you wanted Rhaegar, if you have a ham sandwich that you could get him probably pretty cheap. Only problem with that is he's still on his rookie first round drafted contract, so he's not necessarily that cheap. He plays cheap, but he's not cheap. So I hope to see us trying to make some moves. Stephen Jones, the one thing you can say about Stephen Jones is he's not going to bullshit you. He's not going to put stuff out there just to be putting it out there. When Stephen Jones says something, it's what he means. So when he said, we don't look to sign any big name free agents, we didn't. When he says we believe in our own players, they re-signed them. That's Stephen Jones. So you may not like what you hear from Stephen Jones, but he's not going to bullshit you. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great morning, and I'm going to go back and chill in the room for a bit. We've got about 4.5 hours before practice. Not the game. We're talking about practice. And I can't believe, wow, tomorrow night I'll be heading on that jet airliner back home. This week has literally flown by. And boy, do I have a lot of work to do when I get back home. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys, as well as you ladies. Peace.